Hey everybody, it is day 50, no, 63, 64, I don't even remember. Anyway, and it is December 29th. So, yeah, I'm still sick, but I feel like I'm, kind of coming around a little bit. Minus this, God, this horrible cough, and my nose is really in a lot of pain. Like, it looks really shiny right now, by the way. That is a Vaseline. I just put some fresh Vaseline on my nose because it is peeling. Like, all the skin is starting to peel off my nose. It hurts so bad. So that's rough. Anyway, I have this cough, I'm stuffed up, and I also have this, painful nose. But the sore throat's gone, no fever, and the head pressure is definitely less. Like, it was a little bit painful this morning, but, it didn't feel, as bad as it did yesterday or last night. So that's good. I got almost 12 hours of sleep last night, so that was very needed. I went to bed around 9:15, and I woke up at 9 o'clock. So, solid 11 and a half hours of sleep, I would say. Somewhere in there. So yeah, I'm thinking that, today, give myself, the day to relax and breathe a little bit, and then, go to bed early again tonight, hopefully get another good night's sleep, and then tomorrow is my last day with Tamiflu, so I'll take my last round of pills, and then hopefully I'll be feeling a hell of a lot better tomorrow. So fingers crossed. Like, my dad, I think, was sick for about 4 days, and I'm on day 4, so I'm thinking tomorrow will probably be my, last sick day, hoping, and, yeah, and my grandparents are coming tomorrow night, so I'm, fingers crossed that I'm better before they come here, because I really don't want to get them sick, and I also just want to be able to, feel better and have fun with them, so, yeah, anyway, today I don't have a lot of interesting things to talk about, considering, the past 4 days I've just been laying around here, so I thought I might do a top 10 list, because that's always fun. So I decided I would do top 10 TV shows, and when I started to think about what my top 10 TV shows would be, I really, really struggled. This is bad, but I watch a lot of TV. Definitely, if I'm gonna watch something, it's TV, usually more than movies, actually. I like movies a lot, but I feel like they're a bigger time commitment, which doesn't make sense, because the movie is 2 hours, 2.5 hours, for a TV show. If you're gonna watch the whole TV show, it's hours upon hours upon hours, but I feel like I have more control over it, because I could watch 1 or 2 episodes and I could go do something else. Whereas a movie, I feel very committed to something for, I don't know, it doesn't make, I can't explain my own logic anyway. So, I can't even narrow all the TV shows I watch down to 10. So I think I'm going to do 2 parts to this. It's going to end up probably being my top 20 favorite TV shows. So this is part 1 of that. So I'll do my first top 10 favorite TV shows, and then somewhere down the line I'll do another top 10 of favorite TV shows. So, as always, there's no particular order. This is just kind of what comes to mind first. So, here we go. Miranda's part 1 of top 10 favorite TV shows. And, excuse me if I have to clear my voice or whatever, I'm sick. Give me a sec. So, number 1, I'm gonna have to say is Bob's Burgers. I love Bob's Burgers so much. This is one of my all-time favorite TV shows ever. If I had to pick one TV show to watch the rest of my life, it probably would be Bob's Burgers. Humor is just definitely right up my alley. It's super funny. It's a mixture of duh humor and kind of comical body, humor, and potty humor, and then sexual humor, and then some dry humor. I don't know, it feels like a good combination of just a little bit of everything, and I really like that. So it makes me laugh a lot, and it's also just kind of there's this weird wholeheartedness to it. It's kind of oddly cute and sweet too. So Yes, I would love Bob's Burgers. If you haven't seen it, like, I don't know if I could be friends with somebody who doesn't like Bob's Burgers. To be honest. Yeah, I've seen every episode about 1,000 times. That's one of my favorite shows. Okay, number 2, Downton Abbey. I love Downton Abbey. Oh my gosh. This was probably the very first dramatic TV show that I ever watched. I'm definitely more of a comedy, sitcom, cartoon person, but I, like, was sick one time. I was like 15 years old. I got pneumonia, and I was sick for 2 weeks. I had nothing better to do, and so I was like, I'm gonna watch Downton Abbey because we had the first 3 seasons on DVD. And so I was just like, all right, let me like start it. And I watched all 3 seasons within those couple of weeks, and I was hooked, and I loved it, and it was amazing. And at that time, seasons 5 and 6 weren't out yet. Season 4 had just finished up, so I was like, oh my god, I need to get out there and like find season 4 on DVD because season 3, I won't spoil anything, but I won't. Season 3 definitely ends on a cliffhanger, so I was like, oh my god, like I need to see season 4. But what was crazy is, this is like a funny little story, side story, is that with the first time I watched Downton Abbey, the first 3 seasons, that is, I had pneumonia, like I just said, and my fever was very, very high, and so I was kind of like, a few months later, was kind of killing time. I was like waiting for Downton Abbey season 4 to come out on DVD so I could watch it, and I was like, oh, I should like rewatch the first 3 seasons just to like give myself something to do and to refresh my memory. Turns out I didn't know half of what happened in the first 3 seasons because I was so fevered up that I like was clueless. Like, people died who I didn't know died. Like, seriously, people were dying and I didn't know they had died. People were getting married, I didn't know that they were a thing or a couple. Like, so in a way it was kind of cool because I feel like I got to watch it twice for the first time. Anyway, I love the style, the historical accuracy is actually pretty good. Like, I really love the costumes and the hair and the makeup and like how they change. There's quite the evolution throughout the 6 seasons because it takes over a span of like 12 years or something like that. The characters are also dynamic and there's a lot of them. So at first it felt overwhelming, but I love how many characters there are. It's so enticing. Yeah, and very intriguing. The writing is very well done. Like I said, very well written. And there's just amazing characters that are just so like attractive. Like, well, there are like physically attractive people, absolutely, but like their personalities and their stories are so attractive to me, and I'm like very intrigued and interested. And there's also some like very evil people which keep it going, and it's very interesting. Yeah, and I feel like the show has everything. Like, it's got historical events, it's got romance, it's got murder, it has mystery and deceit, and it has comedy aspects and this beautiful like friendship and sisterly love and hate. And yeah, I feel like it really has everything, and I love that. So number 3, Stranger Things. That is definitely another like drama that I finally got into as well, because like I said, I don't really watch dramas that much. But love Stranger Things. A friend of mine recommended it to me, and I never have. I don't have Netflix. I like use other people's. And so I was babysitting a few years ago. This was like right when it first came out, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna just give it a shot. And like, I watched the first 4 or 5 episodes, so about half of the season 1, because season 2 wasn't out yet. For season 1, it just became popular, I guess. And I was like, oh my god, I need to finish this. So Garrick and I went to Marta Jackson and watched all the episodes that day, because we needed to like be able to see it. And I was hooked. I fell in love with it, and then a year later, season 2 came out, and I watched all of season 2 in one day. So I'm very anxiously waiting for season 3, because I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put my Stranger Things t-shirt on and just like say, nobody bother me, I'm going to watch this show for the next, 10, 11 hours. So very, very excited about that. Garrick and I actually went as Nancy and Mike for Halloween last year. Check out that picture right here. So, yeah. Anyway, love Stranger Things. I love all the characters, and as everybody knows, I'm obsessed with the 80s, and so I really love the culture, and it's got, like, this, like, some, like, spooky horror aspects to it. Even though it's not horror, it's, like, got some spooky elements to it. And it's, like, The Goonies, which is, like, my favorite movie, so it feels like it's a lot of, like, things that I love into one thing. It's, like, The Goonies, but horror, and 80s, and that, like, friendship banter. I love it. Just the way that the kids interact with each other, that's just definitely something that I grew up with. It's very homey to me to watch that. Their inspiration was, like, Stephen King, and the kids had to read lines from Stand By Me to audition, and I love Stand By Me, definitely in my top 10 favorite movies, so yeah, definitely right up my alley. Okay, so number 4, Friends. This is, like, not uncommon to hear that. It's like, well, duh, everybody loves Friends, but I guess I am cliche here. I love Friends too. It's funny, it's a good show, and, like, since I've seen all the episodes about 1,000 times, it's one of those shows I don't feel like I have to really pay attention to that much. So, like, if I just want to lay around and be lazy, like, this is my perfect show to watch, as I can just, like, turn on Friends and enjoy it. And I like the characters, and, you know, it's not a very original thing at all, but it's fun and I enjoy it. So that's all I have to say about that. Number 5, I guess I'd say Sex and the City. I really love this show for a number of reasons. First of all, I love the fashion. Like, why don't we all dress like that? It's just beautiful. 2, there's a character named Miranda, so, you know, and she's, like, the best one of all 4 of them. She's, like, super fierce and hardworking and awesome. I love them all, but Miranda and Carrie are definitely the best characters. So, yeah, and I love this show in particular because, yes, they have adventures with men. Obviously, it's Sex and the City, and they're very candid about sex, and I think I like that. I think I like that show a lot too because it's very candid and very open, and it takes on female pleasure, which is really cool. It's not about male pleasure, which I think is a cool, like, alternative, because a lot of movies, they show, like, female nudity, which Sex and the City does show female nudity for sure, but they show only female nudity. Like, guys who get naked on screen is, like, way less than women, and so I think that this is kind of a cool reversal, and it's like, no, like, women like to talk about sex too, and women like to have sex and feel good about it, and it's not just, like, a thing that's for men, it's for women too, and I like that reversal. I think it's pretty cool, and I like how candid they are about feeling good, about the struggles and the pluses and minuses of sex and relationships, so I think that's a cool way of looking at it, and they're all super fierce women, and I dig it. And they also all view things very differently. Like, Charlotte's opinions versus Samantha's opinions are super different, and I love that. But all that, after, like, all that is said and done, the show really is about friendship, and I love that. Like, I think a lot of chick flicks, because Sex and the City is also a movie, 2 movies, but the second one's not very good. But, you know, although, like, a lot of, like, chick flicks and TV shows that are geared towards women are, like, primarily, I think, about finding men, which isn't bad necessarily. It isn't, but, like, there's more to a woman's life than that. And I really like how the root of the show is really about their friendships with each other. You know, one of my favorite quotes from the show is Charlotte being like, you know, what if we are each other's soulmates and guys are just these great people that we have fun with? And I'm like, preach, girl. Like, how cool is that? Like, yeah, ladies can be each other's soulmates, and maybe they connect on a different level than, like, guys connect on with you. And I think that's really cool, and I think it's really neat. And like I said, ultimately, that's what the show comes down to, is these 4 women who are there for each other through thick and thin, have fights with each other, for sure, it happens, but are there for each other, love each other, and have fun with one another. And I think that that's just, it's beautiful. It really does capture, like, a great female friendship. So, yeah. So, 6, I'd say Girls, and I think that I'm thinking about Girls because of Sex and the City. It's kind of like the more modern version of Sex and the City. And it's, instead of women being in their 30s, it's the women in their 20s. And I really like the show because it is relatable right now as a woman in her 20s. I look at these girls who, I think in this first season, they're all 24. They're kind of fresh out of college. They're kind of figuring out what they need to do with their lives. And they're like, ah. And I relate to that a lot. And I also really enjoy how the show ends. And I feel like I've talked about this a while back. But, like, the girls don't stay friends. Sorry, spoiler alert. They're not friends. And it's a little different than Sex and the City. And I do appreciate this because the friends that you have in your early 20s and in your teenage years even, like, the chance of you guys staying friends is not super likely. And I think it's pretty realistic. And it's okay to not be friends with everybody throughout your life. Like, people come and go, and that's part of life. And I think that they did a great job at accurately depicting that. And I love that about the show, is that, like, and it's okay. You know, it's no one's fault. It's just people change, and it's okay to not be friends with everyone for the rest of your life. So, I do appreciate that. And it's kind of fun to hate on them because all four of these women are just horrible human beings. Just horrible. Honestly, there's not really any redeeming qualities about them. And for most of the characters in the show. So it is kind of fun to watch and be like, wow, that's horrible. Makes you feel a little bit good about your own life choices. So yeah, it's a great show as well. Seven, right? We just did 6. 7. Let's see, The Goldbergs. I love the show a lot because it's just super funny. I often am blown away by the fact that this is, like, real life. Like, all these stories are based on something that really did happen to this kid and his family. And I love that. And I, like, am also blown away. Like, this was real life? What? That's so funny. Plus, it takes place in the 80s, so that's always super cool. I love learning more about the 80s culture. And the kid is, like, super obsessed with movies. So he, like, kind of, like, always has, like, a different movie or TV show or like, musician that he's kind of obsessing over. And I'm like, I feel you, because I obsess over 80s music and movies and stuff like that, too. And at the end of every episode, he shows, like, an actual home video from himself and his family that inspired that week's episode. And I love it. Like, I love watching it and, like, oh my god, like, he really did that. So funny. So, that's a fantastic show. Highly recommend. Number 8, I would say, has to be Playing House. Really love this show a lot. Kind of back to that female friendship stuff. It's about these 2 women who were childhood best friends, and then one of them moved to China after college or around college time, and she is a very successful, hardworking businesswoman, and the other woman stayed in town, in their childhood town, and was going to school, and she got married, and then she's pregnant, right? Kind of just doing their own things. And the show starts with the friend who lives in China coming back to their small Connecticut hometown, go to the baby shower. And at the baby shower, they discover that woman's husband was cheating on her. So she drops everything and decides to move in with her and help her take care of the baby. And I just love that, like, and it's really cute, and it's really funny, and it honestly really reminds me of me and my best friend, because they get into all these weird shenanigans, and they kind of talk to each other in the same way that my friend and I would, and I love it. It's really fun, and it's really cute, and unfortunately it was canceled after 3 seasons, which bums me out so much. Like, recently when I was sick, I rewatched all 3 seasons, just, like, a couple days ago, and I love it. I love the writing, I love the humor, I love the friendship, and it's just a very wholehearted, cute, fun show, and I would highly recommend it. For number 9, Modern Family. Who doesn't like Modern Family? Honestly, this show is so good. But yeah, I love Modern Family. I think it's one of those other shows. It's just like, I like turning it on. It's just a good sitcom to have on the TV and watch, and the writing's clever, and I like all the characters. They're all pretty intriguing, and yeah, I don't know if I have much else to say about it. I just really enjoy the show, and I'm bummed. I think this is the last season this year, so that's a shame. Number 10, okay, I'll say New Girl. Definitely really like that show. The middle seasons did not like so much. So I love the first 3 seasons and the last season. But I would say, like, I think they have 7 seasons. The season 4, 5, and 6 were just, like, not subpar with, like, how the other ones have gone. So that's a shame. So it's not, like, one of my all-time favorite TV shows, but I really like it. Like, I love watching those 4 really good seasons. I gotta say, I connect to Jess, like, on a spiritual level. She's kind of clumsy. She likes being around kids. She's, like, a teacher. She's very goofy. She sings everything, which is definitely a me move. She dances a lot. Very quirky. Very open with her feelings and her body. Like, she says, like, a quote, it's like, I'm being sabotaged by my baby box. I have definitely said that before, 100%. Yeah, I just really do relate to her on a very spiritual level. I feel like there's a few instances in every episode where I'm like, I have done that. 100% I have done that. So I like that aspect of the show, is that she's super relatable. She's very much me. I think one of my other favorite quotes by her is, I hope you like feminist rants, because that's kind of my thing. I'm like, yes, me too, girl. So love that, and I like, she's funny, so I like the relatableness. She's funny. I like the other characters, they're entertaining as well. Yeah, so it's a good show. Just kind of a bummer about those, like, middle episodes or seasons. So, yeah. Okay, those are the first, like, 10. I swear I've got at least another, like, 7 more shows, probably another 10. So I'll make a part 2 video in the upcoming vlogs. So stay tuned for that.